Well, then exactly where is that credible and compelling and irrefutable hard evidence that Justin Trudeau seems to be talking about? Because there is already tremors over this admission that is now coming in from the Canadian Prime Minister, talking about no hard proof. Is this a self-goal on his part? As the MEA now says that India's charge has now been confirmed, as the Ministry of External Affairs says that Canada has presented with no evidence diplomatic ties that have now hit rock bottom as the bitter diplomatic standoff that continues. However, when it comes to the behavior of the Canadian authorities and that too of the Prime Minister, he seems to be now responsible for the ties that have now been damaged between India and Canada. We have Rishabh with us right now. Rishabh, good morning. Well, that is a hard water stated on part of the MEA itself, saying that this is what we have been saying all along. The allegations that began on part of the Canadian Prime Minister, he was only making statements.
Well, definitely, if we talk about Justin Trudeau and his statement that he has made in front of the parliamentary panel on foreign interference in elections, it is very clear that India has been correct throughout last 1 year when India says that Canada has not given any evidence to India. And Justin Trudeau actually went on to say that when India was asking for evidence, we didn't have hard evidence and we wanted to work with India to find evidence. It's like I have an issue with you and I feel that you are wrong, and I want you to join me in investigating that why you are wrong. This is beyond logic. And India now has, in an official statement, has very categorically said that what Justin Trudeau said is in a way vindicating India's stand, and also goes on to say that whatever the situation of India-Canada relationship now is, it's only because of Justin Trudeau. He is responsible for the fall of India-Canada bilateral relationship, which is almost at the brink of collapse in last 48 hours.
And that is just, is it for political vote bank? As far as his government is also concerned, has been on a very precarious situation. We also talk about, as far as the Ministry of External Affairs of India confirming and rather affirming its stand on the massive diplomatic row with Canada, because Rishabh, here the responsibility has now been put squarely on Canada of the disastrous diplomatic fallout, squarely on Justin Trudeau. The Foreign Ministry has reiterated that Canada presented us with no evidence whatsoever.
Well, definitely, the government of India's sources have been talking to us and they have been telling us that, whatever Justin Trudeau is saying is same old Trudeau, saying same old thing for same old region. And now when he was testifying in front of the parliamentary panel, he went on to talk about, the whole diplomatic row. And the more he spoke, the more he vindicated India's stand. He went on to say that, when we spoke to India secretly or for that matter privately, India asked for proof, and that is what India has been saying, that we always ask for proof. Back then, Canada had intel, no hard evidence, which means that on 19th of September 2023, when Justin Trudeau stood in the Canadian Parliament in the House of Commons and accused India of killing a Canadian national who, by the way, is a proscribed terrorist here in India, he had no evidence against India. So going against a country of 1.4 billion, a country that has been traditionally your ally, your friend, diplomatically very cordial relationship, going against a country without any proof beats all logics of international diplomacy. And why and what pursued Justin Trudeau
and the
to do
kind
that
of backlash that Mr. Justin Trudeau has also been facing from his own people there. Let's in the meantime put out when it comes to the statement that has been issued on part of India with regards to the response to the media queries regarding the PM of Canada's deposition at the Commission of Inquiry. And it is important to note, because this is the direct and straight acknowledgement and admission that is now coming in from the Canadian Prime Minister himself. However, as far as Canada's stand is concerned, on one side it says that it respects India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. But when it comes to a terrorist like Nijjar, there is a moment's silence that is also being observed in the Canadian Parliament. Let's in the meantime talk about the series of lies that has now been put forth by the Canadian Prime Minister himself. That is back on the 18th of September 2023. This is also at the time when India was hosting the G20 summit. Agents of Indian government carried out Nijjar's killing. That was the diplomatic communication that was made by Canada. However, saying that there are credible reasons to believe that India is involved in killing. Reasons only. No hard evidence, not even a shred of evidence that was shared. Indian envoy and other diplomat persons of interest. This has happened just this month on the 14th of October. And this is when India decided to retaliate. It was a tit-for-tat response that came in from India when it said that when it comes to Indian envoys and their safety, their diplomats, their safety in Canada, well, they cannot be sure of as far as the Canadian authorities are concerned. Let's in the meantime get you another round of breaking updates.